This story reminded me of a story that we talked about in the past where you're in a really solid, like, healthy relationship, but then you find out something that your partner did either in the very, very beginning or before you started dating. And the question is, like, is this thing that happened or that they did severe enough to end this relationship? And would you end this relationship over this thing that happened, like, way in the past?
I actually was thinking about this story recently too, where the OP wrote that he pretended to be someone else and basically catfished his girlfriend and then was like, oh, it was me the whole time.
Yeah, that was what I was referring to.
Right, I know. And I'm thinking about how we reacted, like, oh, that's so freaking weird, like, blah, blah, blah. And then all I can play in my head is Mastermind by Taylor Swift. And it's like, she did that. And none of us, I mean, it was you and I recording that episode. None of us thought to be like, Taylor can do it, so why can't this guy?
I guess that episode did come out after Mastermind, right?
Yeah. We fricked up. But anyway.
I think, though, that showing up to a party because you know that your crush is going to be there and going out of your way to introduce yourself to them is way different than
catfishing
someone. Yeah.
For sure.
I met someone recently who they started dating their boyfriend when they were in high school, and they were like, I wanted to meet him, so I threw a party with my friends and we invited him because I had a crush on him. And then they're like, ooh, Mastermind. It's like, well, that's just like
normal.
You're just shooting your shot. Like, that's a creative way to meet someone.
That's how you get to hang out with someone. You invite them to a gathering.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I don't find that weird at all. So if people are setting up these, like, weird things in order to meet their crush, I'm like, that's not necessarily a weird thing. It's weird when you catfish them
into a cafe.
Set it up. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So this story doesn't have anything to do with the Mastermind stuff, but like I said, it's like, is this weird
Similar
enough?
Vibes.
Yeah, is this weird enough to end a relationship? I just found out that my wife, female 25, sent invasive texts about me, male 25, when we first started dating. We have been married for about a year and dated for a little more than 4 years before that. Our relationship has been pretty great so far. So they're 5 years in to their relationship and they're married. But then yesterday, my wife asked for my help clearing some storage space from her phone, and I found something that really shocked me. I was deleting old group texts and stuff like that she said she didn't need anymore, and I came across a conversation with some of her college friends, 3 other girls, from about 5 years ago, and I clicked on it to see if she'd still want it. After a couple scrolls up, which I admit was me being a bit nosy, I ran into conversations that were about me. In one of the first ones, I saw my wife said something like, he came dressed like an old man, but at least he's really cute, which I was like, oh, that's odd. She never mentioned that about my outfit, but at least not overly bad. But it got worse. The craziest one I saw was a photo of the top of my head while I was going down on her after our second date. My wife wrote along with the photo, he's a keeper, but something about it just felt so hurtful and invasive. You couldn't really see my face, but it was clearly me. It would have been one thing if she would have asked to take a photo, which I would have said no, but for her to do that and me find out 5 years later felt like I was learning something about the woman I thought I knew everything about and thought I loved everything about. Other messages that I saw also felt like a punch to the gut. My wife at least twice mocked my size, saying at one point that I was the easiest BJ ever and to get yourself a small man, to which her friends responded with several lines of laughter. Keep in mind that my wife has never once mentioned to me that she had an issue with my size and has even mentioned that I'm big. I also saw that she would send her friends screenshots of texts that I sent her, essentially confessing my love for her, which obviously I didn't know about or I would have told her not to. I brought it up to her and basically told her that it made me feel violated, but she said that 1, I was being invasive myself by looking through the messages, and 2, that it was so long ago and that we are both different and better people now than we were 5 years ago. She's not entirely wrong about either of those, but I just still feel hurt by what she did. I could use some advice. Should I just move on? Is there some way to explain to her that this still hurts me so bad?
Holy shit.
Oh, this is so sad.
This is really sad because, like, if she's gonna twist this around and be like, this is invasive, like, okay, sorry, a picture of me doing sexual acts is not invasive.
I know.
First of all, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Probably. I think it would be illegal because of voyeurism.
Yeah.
So it's illegal to take photos or recordings of people where there's a reasonable expectation of privacy. Okay. And I think that a court would rule that in a bedroom where adult things are going on, there would be a reasonable expectation of privacy.
Lawyer friends, please comment and let us know.
Yeah.
I'm curious. But yeah, that's invasive. Like, let's not gaslight here and twist things around because of things that you said and did with your friends about me. I personally, people have heard me stand on my soapbox for a year now about how much I hate like cheaters, and like I think that all circles back to loyalty. And if you can't trust someone, you can't spend forever with someone. And like I know that's asking a lot, but in the same sense, like I fully trust the people that I keep in my life right now. Like I would trust my life with like my closest friends, my family. And I feel like I have to feel that about the person that I'm marrying, no matter how long I've been with them. And if I'm looking back at these things that happened when we first started dating and I literally can't trust this person, how am I supposed to spend the rest of my life, have a child, share my finances, like dedicate my entire being to someone who I literally couldn't have trusted from the beginning had I known what was going on?
Yeah.
And that's just, I hate to say like, oh, like some people never change or like once a cheater, always a cheater. But like, that's just like the stepping stone of you don't know what else has been said or shared about you. You don't know.
I feel like it's hard because a lot of times in the beginning of relationships, especially if you don't expect a relationship to go anywhere, maybe you think this is only going to be a few dates or it's just going to be a casual hookup and it's not my forever person. People tend to divulge so many more details than they would about a committed long-term relationship.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so common, especially in girls. Like I've had lots of girlfriends tell me details of more casual hookups or like first or second dates. Mm-hmm. But how often are friends coming to you divulging that much personal information about their long-term relationships in the sense that they're like making fun of the guy? Yeah. You know? So I feel like maybe this girl at first was like, oh, I like him, I'm interested in him, but it's not really going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why she was sending all these things. I'm almost positive that anyone who really wants to be in a relationship with someone that they just met, this guy that they just started going on dates with, like who would be going and making fun of them to their friends?
Yeah.
I feel like something that matters a lot to many people, at least many people that I know, is you really want your friends and your family to like your partner and to think highly of them and to have good perceptions of them, almost to the point where if you get in a fight, it's like there's that phrase that's like, if you get in a fight with someone, don't tell your parents and don't tell your best friend because they're going to be looking out for you and they're never going to forget it. Whereas if it's just this like lighthearted thing, you could move on and get past it with your partner. So I feel like it's one of those things. Like if she actually thought that she was going to wind up marrying this guy, I'm sure she wouldn't be making fun of him to her friends.
Yeah.
So while that's not okay, regardless, like it's not okay to take pictures of someone or it's not kind to make fun of them and talk about them behind their back, I would bet that almost everyone has told their friends about an intimate experience they've had with a partner or a date.
I guess maybe I'm the weird one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I tell I'm an open book to most people in my life, but I have literally never like made fun of or done something weird or said something so weird about someone I've gone on even just 1 or 2 dates with, unless it's already ended and something so weird happened and I couldn't get over it and I needed to tell my friends. Like there are definitely some people that I've like dated here and there that I will currently make fun of because they deserve it. If it was someone that like never did anything weird and was always good to me, even if like there's some weird detail that I want to share with my friends, I will share that with them, but I won't make it out to be like I'm like judging this person or making fun of this person or like undermining or demeaning this person. Like I very much have never done anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I've ever done that either. Like I don't think I've ever shared information with the purpose of making a joke out of somebody else's like life experience.
Real life.
Yeah. Okay. I see that too.
I mean, I have. I have like definitely said things to my friends that are like, I don't know, like making fun of certain things about people. But like I said, like only if they deserve it. Like if they did something to me and I'm like to my friends, I'm like, yeah, well, you want to hear about whatever? Like, of course I'm going to do that. Like you cheated on me, I'm going to make fun of you.
Yeah,
you deserve it. But like if you treated me well, you never did anything weird. We went on 2 dates, say, and like things were fine and dandy. Trust me, I have nothing bad to say about you, and I'm not going to be weird to my friends about you. I'm just going to be like, didn't work out. Yeah. But maybe that's a maturity thing. Like, do we know how old these people are?
They're 25. And so
this
5
happened
years
at
ago,
20 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, when I was 20 years old, I really don't think I was like fully making fun of people. I don't know. Maybe I was. I don't remember. But I can honestly say that at this point in my life, no one in my adult life that I've dated or gone on dates with has anything like this ever crossed my mind to say to my friends.
I think it hits harder for this OP because the messages were about him. So if he is wondering whether this thing that his wife did, which is make fun of him via text and share the details about their intimacy, like if he is wondering if this is who she is this her character, it's hitting deeper because the texts were about him. It would be the same whether it was about him or another guy or a third guy or whoever. So I feel like he should almost take himself out of it and be like, if I found these texts that my wife sent when she was 20 years old in college with her girlfriends about another random guy, would I end my relationship over it? Because if you're thinking character, it doesn't even matter who she's talking about. True. It just matters that she did the thing to someone.
Yeah.
Obviously, it hits harder because it's you, the one that she ended up with.
Yeah.
But I think that people do grow and they are different than who they were 5 years ago. And I don't remember everything I've ever done when I was 20 years old, but I'm sure I said something or did something that if I remembered it or if someone brought it up now, I'd be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Or there's a better way to talk to my friends about that. Or if I found something funny, maybe I could talk to them in a way that isn't just making fun of someone. Or maybe I wouldn't have shared their name I would just keep them anonymous when I'm telling the funny story or something. Yeah. We've all made mistakes. And I don't know if this is who she is now. Yeah. Because when she was a college girly hooking up with a guy that she just met and she's talking to her friends about it in text messages, like, I don't know if that's relationship ending for me. So if it was my boyfriend or now husband 5 years ago was saying shitty things about me or sending way too much information about me, I'd be pissed. I'd be literally livid. I think honestly the worst part of this is the photo, because a photo lives forever. Like that I would definitely go to therapy over that. And I would, if I had the resources, I would like literally hire a tech person to make sure that the photo is absolutely nowhere else on the internet. Yeah. But I feel like people say, I don't know. I just feel like people make mistakes, and I'm sure I've said something mean about somebody that I've dated at some point. Yeah. And it's like, are you gonna end a relationship 5 years later because I made a joke about you in text messages to my girlfriends? Like, I would be so hurt. I'd be furious. I'd be livid, and it would probably take therapy and a lot of honest communication to get over. But I don't think I'd end my marriage on this.
I think thinking about a big picture, like what you just said, I probably agree to the extent of the ages that they were. Right. Like if it was a college girly doing this, fine, because like, I mean, it happened when I was in college, not necessarily to me, but to friends. Like a whole fraternities group text leaked about all these girls at my college, and I'll never forget some of the things that were said or shared like that. Like you said, like it's an immaturity thing. People grow. If at 28 years old, someone that I dated that's 28, 29, 30 to 36, 38 years old is saying these things about me, they're a whole adult. They know what they want. They know how they're behaving. Their frontal lobe is formed. And like that I couldn't live with, because I would truly think that that's how this adult person sees and feels about me. And they're not going to grow out of that. A 20-year-old is going to grow out of it.
I agree. And I feel like this idea that the growth that happens between 20 and 25 is tremendous. The growth that happens between 25 and 30 is tremendous. But as you get older, 5 years flies by so much faster. Your life typically between 20 and 25 changes so much more than it does between 32 and 37 for most people, or between 40 and 45. Those 5 years when you're younger, like when you're 20 to 25, that's 20% of your life.
Yeah.
So of course that 20% of your life is going to shape you so much more drastically. If you're 35, 20% of your life is more than 5 years. If you're 40, it's even more. If you're 50, it's even more. So I do agree with that. If they were 27 and I was 32, I would not be happy about it. But I agree that she almost seems like a child, like she's in school. I also think, going off of what you said about like the whole frat and the group text, like I am so anti all of that. It pisses me off. It makes me so mad and furious. If I had friends or a brother or a son who was involved in that, I would be so deeply disappointed in anyone that I loved if they were involved in that. But also I think that good people can get caught up in bad things because their friends are doing it, because they're involved in this brotherhood and everyone else is doing it. I'm not saying it's right, but I think it's easier for people to get caught up in things like that. So who knows, maybe this OP's wife, maybe all her friends for 6 months before or for years before had been sharing updates on the guys they were dating, on the hookup culture, on every single experience they had, and then the wife was like, oh well, now I'm dating someone, I can add to the story, haha, like laugh with me, it's my turn. Like,
and I think that all trickles down to age. Like, I'm not doing that at 28 years old. Granted, most of my friends are married, so everyone's not sharing their deepest, darkest secrets. It's like me and Rebecca left, but like for real, like I guess it would just be so different if someone was saying those things about me when we were in our 20 years old, in our college prime, versus someone saying that about me now as like a full-grown adult at 28 years old. And obviously I'm not saying I'm old, but I'm a whole adult with a career now, and pretty much we know what I'm gonna look like when I grow up. And if someone was saying that about me now, I'd be like, okay, you thought I was disgusting at 28 years old, what's gonna make me want to have your kid at 30 or like you know, continue my life with you? That's what would like get to me. Like I don't think I could want to like spend my life with someone who thinks these horrible things about my body, or like reproduce with someone who thinks I'm this like I don't know, like that is something that I couldn't get past at this age. I could get over if it happened to me right now at 28 years old that I saw from 5 years ago when I was 22, whatever, graduating college. I could see getting over that now. But if it happens to me right now and I find out that the person that I start seeing right now that does this now 5 years from now, I don't want to live with them. I don't want them to see me like naked every day when I get in the shower. I don't want to have a child with them. Like, that's horrendous.
Yeah, I think I could cut somebody some slack if they were involved in it in college.
Yeah.
But when you're an adult, that would be where I draw the line. It is interesting to think, though, like, what if they were 25 and did it? What if they were 26 and did it? Like, where is the line? I guess it depends on the person.
I think it depends on the person and where you are in life. Yeah. Like, when I was 25, a lot of my friends were with the people that they are now married to, and none of them would have done it.
Yeah.
But when we were 20, they would have. Now, at 28 to 30, like, we're all adults here. We're all seriously dating to find our person that we're going to spend the rest of our life with. And if someone at this point in my life says horrible things about me, I do not want to be with them, no matter when I find out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm also, like, that's to say that I'm not dating a 22-year-old. Like, I'm going to date someone my age bracket or older.
I also think with the age thing, it also involves experience. Like, when you're 20, you might think that those things are the most important. So those things that she was making fun of you for, I'm not saying that it was nice or okay, but she probably thought that those were, like, the most important things. And over 5 years and throughout your whole relationship, she's learned that there are so many more important things than those things that she was talking about. And I'm sure she values your relationship for so many other reasons, and she doesn't even think about those things anymore, and that's why she doesn't say them to you. So I feel like keep that in mind too. Like, those things no longer matter to her because she's not 20 years old anymore.
Right.
So I think that's in your favor as well.
I think that also circles back to what I'm saying about, like, now, where it's like if someone were to, like, hate on my looks or, like, how I do something now, like, that's probably not going to change a whole lot for the better between now and, like, 35. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get better looking as I age.
You might, but why is that relevant?
Because I'm saying, like, she was talking about, like, all these physical things about him, and it's like things can get get better from when you're 20 to 25. But I don't know that like certain things are going to necessarily get better from like 30 to 35.
Yeah.
So it's like if there's a chance that things are only going to get worse, I really hope you're not saying it's bad now.
Right. Like if they were saying like, oh, he has a baby face and a squeaky voice at 20, it's like, okay, say that about me. Yeah, I did.
Right.
Or like I was probably ugly at 20. But
or like
then,
inexperienced or like what, like whatever.
But if you feel that you are like better looking or have grown in those areas, you're like, okay, fine. It wouldn't hurt you as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like if I'm only going to age and like, I don't know, get fatter and wrinklier and like.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get lame at some point in my life. So like if you think I'm lame now, like sorry, don't date me.
Yeah. So, based off of the information in the story, if you were 25, it happened when they were 20, would you end the relationship?
I don't think it's marriage ending.
I agree.
If it's over something that happened at 20.
I agree.
And it's not like she did anything like, it's not like you found out she murdered someone, cheated on you, chopped their head off. Like, you found out she like talked about your sex life. Like, let's BFFR here.
Yeah, I agree.